It's only when I'm dancing that I feel this free. At night, I lock the door so no one else can see. So this is why you clicked on this. This compact disc, and it even bears the proper compact disc logo, holds 8 hours of audio. How is that possible, and what do you play it on? Well, luckily, back from 1989, I have a box fresh system to show you. And we're going to be taking a look at this together because legitimately, I haven't opened this. I know nothing about this. It's going to be an experience for us both. If you've not stopped by before, hi, I'm Andy. I do like videos that get to the point and don't outstay their welcomes. We should be out of here in about 15 minutes if I've got this right. Anyway, I won't do this bit next time. We've got an absolute shed load to plough through, so I'll stop farting around the poo and let's do a retro robust review. I know what you're thinking. What kind of weird off-brand bottom of the shelf home bargain special is this? Well, this was made by Phillips. Yeah, Phillips. Not only that, our friends in Eindhoven were very, very keen to assert that you were not going to own these. This is quite a rare system. This is a genuine Phillips long play CD system. Let's just take a moment to remind ourselves of some of Phillips' great successes. Of course, there's Compact Cassette, Mr. Rotten's brilliant breakthrough, much maligned. Don't worry, we'll be talking about the magic inside these another time. And of course, Compact Disc, which they developed with Sony. This is actually a Phillips machine. I know it says Marantz on it, but at this point in time, these are two cheeks of the same arse. And of course, very expensive and catastrophic failures. The eagle-eyed will have noticed there's one of their big failures missing. That's because I haven't got one, and it's a shame because it's the one that would be really useful for this. But just pretend there's a CDI there if that gives you a bit of a clue. And remember what a rip-roaring success it was last time Phillips tried to put 8 hours onto something. I've given you enough clues now, hopefully. If enough of you do the good thing, I'll maybe get these out one day and we'll have a look at them. I'm saying that like I'm not desperate to. Yeah, we are going to be taking a look at these, and I absolutely adore these machines, and I can't wait to tell you all about them. So here it is, the Philips BMS 3000 background music player. Ready to fill your day with joy or just repetitive tedium? Delete as appropriate, but you must admit, it's a good looking thing. I would. So the machine itself, apart from being a handsome looking device, is actually player and integrated amplifier. There's a 100-volt line speaker system amplifier on this and a normal 8 ohm as well. I would have shown you that, and I ordered some 100-volt speakers that we could have a play with because Herbie's told me they delivered them 3 days ago. Here they are. With this being a background music player, I can well imagine 50% of the people who heard it, it was the best time of their day when it got switched on, and for the other 50%, the best time of their day when it got switched off. I did used to work in retail many years ago with background music. I looked like that, and I worked for Woolies. Mind you, we could play whatever we wanted, and this was in the height of the Frankie and Eamon FURB stuff, so that soon ended when the final written warning started. Anyway, with that said, I really hope this has got some dreadful corpo waft on it. Because, oh mate, that shiz is my jam. The machine itself is simple as custard really. You power it on, slot the disc in, and then you've got play, stop, all the usual buttons on there. You can also plug a microphone into it, and it will act as an amplifier. If you hit the track button, it will jump forward a track. Oh, and it plays normal CDs too. But we'll come back to this. So let's just do a quick history of CD, okay? 1982, Philips and Sony got together and bollocks. Philips and Sony released this, the compact disc. Maybe a bit of restored bonhomie after the initial videotape format war where they went head to head. So it's a format war. It was, well, not a format skirmish. Probably not even that really. It was just a sort of playground play fight between two kids that weren't really that interested. Yeah, I am just edging you now, sorry. But this stuff genuinely gets me very excited. I really can't wait to get some videos up about this sort of stuff too. I'll move on. And let's just have a very quick refresher on how it works. Okay, so we take the analogue. Sounds great, okay. We quantise it in 16 bits, 44,100 times per second. That covers the whole human hearing range. Sonically, it's absolutely brilliant. We use 2 channels because it's stereo. And that's called Red Book Standard. That's what Sony and Phillips and everyone else got together and agreed what CD was going to be. But our mate here uses Red Book 2 Electric Boogaloo, the Green Book, which is a CDI standard. My friend, come in. This is nothing but a CDI player with the fun video stuff removed. But that does mean it can decode the snappily named Adaptive Differential Pulse Code Modulation Type B Mono. And that will let you fit 8 hours onto one disc. Compromises? Yeah, some. So to get the 8 hours on using that encoding, this has to drop the sample rate a bit to 37.5 kilohertz. Not too bad, gives us a top frequency about 17 kilohertz somewhere if you read the specs. But whereas this does it in 16 bits, this does it in 4. Now if your mind worked like mine, you went 4 bits, seriously, it must sound like, well, absolutely rancid. You may have noticed some quantization noise there. But as I said a moment ago, this is adaptive pulse code modulation, and that is a different kettle of ferrets. There is going to have to be a part 2 to this video. And I will explain this properly in the next video, right? We'll do a deep dive into how this works. But very basically, we take the 4 bits, and the faster things are changing, those bits spread out. Then when there's sections when there's not so much going on, it shrinks that size so we keep more detail. You want to know what it sounds like, don't you? Well, due to the magic of modern computers, here's an audio sample. For various rather helmety reasons, I've had to shoot a lot of this arse backwards. But this Marantz is about to cause a gross continuity error, so this needs to get itself back to the living room and plug itself in. Here's the disc. I'm not going to insult your intelligence and compare it to a normal audio CD because it is identical to one of those. See, it's got the compact disc word mark on here with the word interactive under it, which should be giving you a clue by now if you've really not grasped it. Oh, and don't worry if you think this is dragging. I'm going to show you a picture of a train in a bit. Yeah, I am. Keep watching. The discs do need to go into one of these prophylactic CD caddies. Right, you see this warning on here? That keeps looking at me and I think it's threatening me with a good time. Never threaten me with a good time. It's not you, all right? I know that you know what's going to happen if I put this in a normal audio CD player, but if I don't, I've kicked around on the internet long enough to know what's going to happen if I don't. So, everyone, stick your helmets on. We're going to the living room. Come in. You've got your safety helmet with you, haven't you? I've not seen one that colour. It's very pretty. Matches your eyes. Best put it on just in case this does divide by 0 or something when I put it in my CD player. Oh, no, leave your shoes on. Everyone else does in this house. Anyway, come on. This is the second take. I was going to issue a warning and say be really, really careful, because if you do this, you just get a load of dissonant, high-pitched dots and whistles just blowing right through you. But then I realised I'd actually left that in the machine. So we'll try it again with the right disc this time. My poor old Marantz. Nothing. That's what happens. It'll give up in a second. It can't read the disc. That should not have told us anything that you didn't already know. I know that. I know that you knew that. Everyone knew that. But while we've got the helmet on, I do need to just talk about something really, really quick, all right? I started doing this about 3 or 4 months ago properly, and to be honest, I hadn't had a lot of success with the amateur radio stuff, and I'd put hours and hours and hours into making stuff, and then I uploaded an old video that had been up about 2 years on a channel that had 30 subscribers, and well, it went to the moon a bit. I am really, honestly, very, very grateful to everyone that's liked, subbed, left a comment, or just watched. With that said, there is a Patreon, alright? I'd love to be able to do this full time. The only thing I can really offer at the moment for patrons is if you sign up like Kyla has, I will write your name on the helmet, alright? And it will be in shot in every video. Oh, and if you hear for the radio stuff, yeah, that's going to continue. If you do need to scratch your old ham gland in the meantime, N2EWS, fantastic channel and a guy that's given me loads of support. He's just started out doing radio reviews, so there's a link below. Go and pay him a visit. And yeah, that's the other thing. If you knew, that bloody thing is in every shot. It's like a 3 AM text from an ex-lover, all right? Just the best thing to do is just ignore it. Right, let's get this helmet off because we've got the meaty bit to do now. Right, this was meant to be the big meaty bit, and I genuinely, apart from putting a UK plug on this, so I got all excited about powering this up, and I really was quite excited, and it doesn't work. It's suffering from that problem with that word I don't say in videos anymore, but in fact half the passes are rattling around in the bottom of it. It's unwell. Very unwell. I am going to fix this, and this is what we're going to do. Oh, and a bit of an apology and a thank you to somebody. Because it's 2024, rather than pissing about in forums, I went straight to a CDI Discord and I mentioned I'd got one of these, and a bit of a discussion started. Anyway, it ended up, this didn't work. I found a service manual for this on eBay, went to buy it, and somebody bought it from under me. I then stomped around it in an absolute piss for about 2 hours, wondering how the hell I was going to finish this video. And then I looked at Discord, and the guy that had bought the manual had scanned it as a high-resolution PDF and sent it over to me. Thank you very much, Rosewood, and that will teach me to be a pissy little chicken, won't it? Right, this is the deal. I'm going to get this on the bench, we'll have the scopes out and the meters, okay? I'm going to go through it and we'll try and get it working. In all good consciousness, I can't just sling that on eBay because that's just going to be a 1 hour top-down video of me mumbling, swearing, farting and probably getting angry at this, going through it, trying to get it to work. So I'll put that on Patreon. Then when it's fixed, or if not, I'll get hold of another one. Then we will reconvene back on YouTube for a part 2 where I'll have either got another one or we'll have got this one working and we'll have a real proper good play with it, and also we'll get more under the hood about how it actually works. I'm sorry if you feel like I've wasted your time. Like I said, I've ended up having to shoot a lot of this backwards, and the idea was I was going to turn this on in front of everyone and it was going to work. But it doesn't. It just gives me random errors and the laser's not focusing. But I wouldn't stroke you for 15 minutes and not actually tell you what is on this disc. Right. This, and it's a bit convoluted, this audio system ended up being used in the PlayStation 1. So whilst it was non-trivial, I have managed to extract the audio from this disc on the computer. I'm going to play some samples, alright? They are not cleared. I'm new to this. I'm learning. Please don't grass me up to YouTube, all right? We're only going to listen to a few seconds. So that was what was on it. All original 90s house. Fantastic. But there's one last bit I didn't talk about, and that was why you weren't allowed to own these. So, with Chummy here, you couldn't own these. You had to rent these as a package. And Phillips were quite insistent, if you read around, that these were only ever going to be leased. So these discs, you'd be sent a new one every so often. Much like the Muzak system in the States. But this one's British, so it's made by Rediffusion Music, which was made out of bits of the old Associated Rediffusion cable network. Can you think of a more British name for a cable television company than Associated Rediffusion? It's also made out of bits of Granada Television and BET, one of those big corporate companies. To think, in 1990, there was a world where you didn't own your own music. You had to lease it from somebody. Fancy that. Well, that was a bit of an anticlimax, wasn't it? Oh, hang on, we can have a good climax here. I forgot something. BET that I just mentioned, one of the companies that was involved in all of this. Of course, that was originally known as British Electric Traction. And by degrees of separation, you know what they made? They made trains. I told you. Right, this is just getting silly now. Let's wrap it up. Oh yes, but this is all for next time, where we're going to be taking a look at Amstrad's very, very, very low point. And that's a video which will hopefully satisfy the radio guys as well. And for once, it's not even you. I am very, very appreciative of anybody who'll sit and watch my nonsense for any period of time. I've loved having you here. I'd love to make more videos like this, so please do the good thing. That's all I've got to say today. Thanks for coming. Cheers. Goodbye.